Thanks, honey. Hey guys, happy Thursday. Welcome to our weekly Dream Team training call. I am super excited because I've got Katie Muntz on tonight. We've got a guest with us. We're excited just to kind of share some tips with you guys. And, one of the things I've been thinking about is this COVID thing is it's definitely not coming to an end, but things are starting to open back up a little. I was just thinking about how blessed that we've been just being part of this while all of this has been going on, and having all of each other, all of us, to people to lean on. And I thought about what it would have been like not being in this business and not having just such an amazing group of people to lean on during a time like this, but also how blessed we've all been to be a part of something where a lot of us are getting weekly paychecks and having that extra income come in. And we're rocking out. I mean, as a team, we are rocking out. Last month was incredible. It was ridiculously crazy. This month is going to be even bigger, even better. We're going to see a lot of new team members joining, a lot of new customers, and a ton more promotions this month, which is so exciting. And with that said, I want everybody ready. I think that the biggest issue that I see people have is the lack of consistency. Some weeks we're excited, we're pumped up, and then hold on a second, let me mute out. And then we have a bad day, right? And sorry, I think I got it muted out now. Then we have the bad day, and we let that turn into 2 bad days, into 5, and we're just not consistent with our business. And that's the biggest problem, and the biggest reason why a lot of people aren't getting to where they want to be is that lack of consistency. And so what I want you guys to all do this month, it's still the beginning of the month, is really envision where you see yourself at the end of the month and get a schedule. Get consistent. Tell yourself that, any lack of inconsistencies you've had before, that's over. This is a new month. It's the beginning of a new time. And you guys, we're going to see a lot of huge things rolling out over the next couple months. And really, since I've been with Lavelle now going on 3.5 years, this time of year, starting last month through July, is crazy. It's busy. There's a lot going on. And the cool thing about it is that you guys can reach any goal that you want to, whether you're on here and you're just trying to get free product every month and that's your goal, whether you want an extra $100 a month, $100 a week, or 1,000 a week, that is possible, and it can happen super quickly. It really, really can. And I think that's the cool part about this business is if once you put your head down and once you get your mind right and once you make that decision to get consistent, especially during a time like this where it's going to be excitement and we're going to see a ton of growth. I mean, last month, I don't know about you guys, but it was so exciting at the end of the month seeing everybody congratulating this person for grabbing the goat bonus, and people congratulating people for promoting. And that was just our first month of the beginning of this crazy ride that we're going to be on, especially over the next 4 months. So imagine this month that doubling and tripling, and every single person on here can be a part of it. So what I wanted to do is, Katie Muntz is on with me tonight. Katie, I wanted to pull you in, and I know you had some tips that you wanted to share and just some things that you have written down that are on your heart. And I'm gonna let you just take over the call from here. And I also know we have one of your team members we're bringing on today too to share that's rocking it out. So I'm gonna hand it over to you. But you gotta unmute yourself, Katie. Hold on. Gotta find you.
Am I
There
good?
you are. I'm going to unmute you.
Can you hear me?
Katie, you there?
I'm sure.
Yes, I just unmuted you. You're good now.
Can you hear me?
Technology.
Okay, I got a new computer. I don't know how to work it yet.
Yes, I can hear you.
I didn't know what to do. Okay, So I just wanted to, first of all, thank you guys for getting on. I think it's so important that we show up. And that's what I kind of wanted to like lead this off with, you guys. I don't have like a specific subject that I want to talk about, okay? I go all week. Lisa asked me about a week ago if I could do this, and I was like, you know what, great, yes. And I just took the whole week, and anything that came to my heart, it says my internet connection is unstable.
Katie.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Your internet. No, your internet is horrible. It's like really bad.
Okay, 1 second.
Your connection is really bad.
Okay, hang on.
We're gonna try to make you. Yeah, it's super hard to hear. We're gonna try to get you a better connection. Yeah, it's super echoey.
Hang on 1 second.
I'll get it.
Okay. 1 second.
It's technology. We always get it.
Can you hear me better now? Is that better? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
So much better.
I don't know what's going on. I got a new computer and it's just like I'm still trying to learn it. Okay. So is that better? Are we good? Yes.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah, you're better.
If it echoes a little bit, it's because I'm in my office and it's like bare empty in here, so I gotta fill it up with like stuff. But I have been just going the whole week because I talked to Lisa about a week ago and she asked if I can do this, and I just wrote down everything that came to my mind. You know, the conversations that I've had, the problems that we've run into, the solutions that we've had for the problems that we've run into. I just kind of like wrote it all down, so I want to share with you guys what we've experienced over this last week, things that have been on my heart, and ways to grow through that. And then after I'm done, we're going to talk to Shelby Doris. She is a 40K on my downline, and her story is incredible. So I think Lisa's just going to ask her some questions about her story. So stay on for that because her story is amazing. But I just want to start into this with, you know, some of the notes that I have wrote down. I promise there's a point to these. I just do have a squirrel brain. But as you can imagine, you guys, I have a very large downline, okay? So I have just a little under 3,000 people on my downline, multiple 12Ks, 40Ks, leaders, up and coming 4Ks. I'm in three-way chats all the time, and I'm having conversations with people all the time, all right? And I want to talk about some of the language that I've realized over having conversations with people that might be killing your business. And this is going to have to be like a very real, very hard conversation that you have to have with yourself. I'm not in all your guys' conversations. I don't know how all your conversations go, but I always call it Larry loser language. So this is some of the things that I've seen people say over the last few weeks that could be killing their business. You know, you don't have to answer in the chat, but maybe like ask yourself honestly, like, is this you? And how can we switch it? So I have a few of those written down. And then I also want to talk about protecting your vibe within your business. So the first thing that I've noticed that people always say could be, I'm going to start tomorrow, or I'm going to start on Monday, or I'm going to start next week, or I'm going to start when the pandemic is over, or whatever, you guys, okay? And the fact of the matter is, if that's you, if you're like, I'm going to start when my husband goes back to work, I'm going to start when I'm done homeschooling, I'm going to start, you know, XYZ, fill in the blank. You guys, it's going to be just as hard to start then as it is today, okay? So following up tomorrow is going to be just as hard as it would have been today. Growing your network tomorrow is going to be just as hard or just as time consuming as it would be today. So stop telling yourself that you're going to start tomorrow. Start today. Stop giving those excuses life, and just kind of like put all the excuses on the back burner and start today, okay? Number two, I've heard, and this is just like loser language, I call it, that's going to kill your business if you don't cut it out. Number two is, it's not my fault. Whenever we have slow seasons, or we have things happen in our business, or people leave, or you know, your personal volume is down, or something happens, the first thing we like to do is play the blame game, right? Like, we've all been there, we all play the blame game sometimes, but stop blaming people because it's nobody else's fault, right? If we are broke, it's probably due to our own decision making when it comes to our finances. If we're overweight, it's probably due to our own decision making when it comes to, you know, what we put in our body, right? So if our business isn't thriving, pun intended, the way that we plan it to be, it's probably got a direct correlation of our choices. Okay, so let's not blame people. Stop blaming people on our downline. Stop blaming the people, who are above us. Just stop blaming. So if you're not changing something, you're choosing it. Stop playing the victim to these things and control. You can't control who leaves, you can't control who does what, you can't control who enrolls who, but you can control what you do. So focus more on that and less on what other people do. The next thing, and I hate this so much, is when people say, I can't or I'll try. You can, you guys. Stop saying I can't enroll a promoter, I can't enroll a customer or get a customer, which I hate saying get a customer. Stop saying I'll try to do something. I'm a firm believer in either you do or you don't. Okay. Are you going to try to lose weight? Either you're going to lose weight or you're not. Are you going to try to, get sober? Either you are or you're not. You're going to try to fix your marriage? You either are or you're not. Are you going to try to work your business? Like think about like your kids, whenever they come to you and they're like, oh, can we do this, this, and this, and this, and this? And you're like, oh, we'll try tomorrow. Like in the back of your mind, you know it's not going to happen, right? Oh, sorry. I'm reading the comments. Whenever your kids come to you and you're like, can we go do this or the other? And you're like, oh, we'll try to make it work tomorrow. You know damn right in your mind the answer is no. So when you're telling yourself, I'm going to try to work my business, I'm going to try to do self-development, I'm going to try to follow up, like you're not going to try. That's just an excuse that you're telling yourself. It's like a word, like a middleman right there is like why you're not going to do it. So stop saying you can't and stop saying you'll try. Okay, a little known fact is that for the longest time, literally for like ever, it was scientifically proven to be impossible to run a mile in under 4 minutes. Did you guys know that? And then one person ended up doing it, right? And then one person did it, and then hundreds of other following people did it because they said, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. There's so much power in the words I can. So stop saying I can't, stop saying I'll try. Say, I can enroll promoters. I can grow my business. I can enroll customers. I can go 4K. I can drive for free. These things. I can hit my next promotion. Whatever it is, whatever goal you have, you can do it. Stop saying that you can't or that you'll try, because those are just reasons that you won't do it. And then if you don't end up doing it, right? Like if you don't hit that goal, you're not even upset about it because you didn't think you could do it in the first place, right? So you just kind of like wrote it off already that it's not going to happen. So tell yourself that you can. Your subconscious mind, and this is so good. I'm reading a book right now about your thoughts. It's super cool. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what you tell yourself and what truly is happening. Like if you can control your thoughts, you can literally control your life. If you think to yourself, wake up every single morning, I'm 200K, I'm a 200K, I'm a 200K, I'm a 12K, I'm a mass enroller, like people are attracted to my business, we have the best team ever, like everybody wants to join my organization. You're going to start acting as if that's already come to pass, and you're going to give off an energy that's going to attract people to you, okay? So your subconscious, it doesn't know the difference. But if you wake up every morning and you're like, I can't enroll people, and nobody wants to join my team, nobody wants my products, I'm not good at this. Like, sister, no wonder you're struggling here, is because look at the garbage that you're filling your head with. You wouldn't fill your body with junk food and fast food and sugar and pop and expect it to run at optimal levels, right? Like of all people, us thrivers should know that what you fill your body with matters. We fill our body with premium grade nutrition to have our body run at an optimal level. Why is your brain any different? Okay. So tell yourself that you can do it. Fill your brain with these good things. Do your personal development. And what you feed your brain is how you're gonna, what you tell yourself matters, basically, okay? So number 4 was I don't have time. I don't know about you guys, but the reason that I started this business is because I didn't have time. Like, you can either use it as your reason or you can use it as your excuse. You guys, let me ask you this. And this is, like, I'm not trying to, like, offend anybody or, like, get too deep here, but let me ask you, if your child were sick and they had to go to the hospital, would you have time to take them to the hospital? Yeah, right? If somebody that you loved, heaven forbid, passed away, would you have time to attend the services? Yes. If your best friend were getting married, would you have time for her wedding? Yes. Why? Because those are priorities to you, right? Those things are important to you. So instead of saying I don't have time, try saying it's not a priority. So instead of saying I don't have time to follow up, try saying that following up to me is not a priority. Okay, and see how that sounds. Doesn't that sound really icky? Like, oh, it's not a priority. My business isn't a priority. Following up's not a priority. Changing lives, helping people feel good is not a priority. Do you see how gross that sounds? So stop saying that you don't have time, because if it's a priority to you, you will have time. And let me tell you that this business should be a priority to you. Yeah, like Diana just said, you'll always have time, you guys. We all have the same 24 hours. Then I know that I don't understand everybody's story. And I know that I don't know everybody's story on here, and that's okay. But what I do know is that I'm busy too. What I do know is that when I started this business, I was working 6 days a week, doubles on the weekend. What I do know is I have 3 kids, you guys. I have 3 kids, and for the last few days, I've had my nephew too. So I have a 1-year-old, I had 2 2-year-olds, and a 10-year-old, and I still found the time to make this business work because it's a priority to me. So ask yourself, is this business a priority to you? And I wrote down, you guys, so, and I don't say this like to brag in any means, but in 2020 so far, and I just want you to know that what's possible with this business when you really do make it a priority, from January, February, March, April, the first 4 months of 2020, it would have taken me 14 and a half years to make the income that this business has given me at my old job. Because, and that's literally the power of deciding you can, okay, so I can, and it's a priority to me. So stop saying that you don't have time. Try saying that it's not a priority and see how that sounds. That sounds so icky. Number 5, you guys, and this is, I hate this one, is when people say that they got lucky. Okay, stop comparing yourselves to other people. Stop looking at other 200Ks and going, they got lucky, they enrolled a runner, they already had this big giant network. You guys, that's not true. Okay, people might look at my journey in this business and they go, okay, so you went 200K really fast, but they don't see the nights that I was up late, the mornings that I was up early, the 3-way checks that I was in, the Zooms that I was on, the live videos that I was doing, all these things, right? You don't see the behind the scenes. It was blood, sweat, and tears. And for me personally, it was 5 years of sacrifice, okay? So I'm not lucky. And instead of saying she's lucky, maybe say, am I just too lazy to make sacrifices? And I don't mean that rude, you guys, but are you willing to do what someone else is doing behind the scenes? Are you willing to show up and get on Zooms? Are you willing to talk and leave Zooms like this? Are you willing to wake up earlier and go to bed later? Are you willing to do those things? Are you willing to show up? And there's just a whole wide plethora of things that go on behind the scenes. So stop saying that they're lucky and just ask yourself, are you willing to do the things that they've had to do to get to where they are, okay? And number 6 was I'm too tired. This was the last one. This is just language, you guys. Like, I'm not saying like anybody personally, but like the conversations that I've had over the last few weeks, these are the ones that really stick out to me the most. Number 6 was I'm tired. And let me tell you guys, I've been in this industry for 5 years. And I have been tired for 5 years, okay? It's tiring. It's tiring. But do you know what? I would rather be tired for 5 to 10 years and then live my life comfortably and then live my life abundantly and live my life on my terms and put my kids through college and be debt-free and enjoy my life, okay, than to work 50 years for a boss, you know, retire at 60 or 65 and then live off of like $30,000 a year and be struggling and be collecting government assistance and food stamps because, you know, I was like, for what? Like, guys, sorry, this just really gets to me, but like, you're gonna be tired. You're gonna be tired of following up. You're gonna be tired of posting some days. You're gonna be tired of Zooms. You're gonna be tired. It happens. And if you're actually working, like if you're truly working your business, you guys, you will be tired. Okay, because I love what we do and I love how simple it is, but it is work. Okay, it's simple, but it is work. It's simple work. So those are the things that I just wanted to touch on really quickly. Just kind of have that conversation with yourself and ask yourself, like, am I that person who's saying those things? You know, your thought process, and you can change it with the simple sentence, I have a choice. So you have a choice. I have a choice to wake up in the morning and be jealous of somebody else and have a pity party, or I have a choice to go work my business and use that to fuel me. Because instead of saying why her, not me, say if her, then me, right? If she can do it, then I can do it. Instead of if she can do it, then, you know, like why her, not me, right? So ask yourself if those are things that you say, throw them out, you guys. Change your thought process, change the way that you say things. Instead of saying I can't get any promoters, say, you know, what can I do to make this business more attractive to people who are in my network, right? Like what can I do? And look inside yourself and ask yourself, what can you do? And stop playing the blame game and stop making excuses, because you guys, you can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. So that was what I had on that. And then I just really quickly wanted to talk about like protecting your vibe. I had listened to another training and this really spoke out to me a lot, you guys. It is your responsibility to protect this, okay? The biggest bully, and I don't care if like your mom says it's a scam, your friends from high school don't believe in it, your neighbors got their own opinion, the biggest bully is none of them. The biggest bully is the one between your ears, you guys. The biggest bully is your thought process. It is your responsibility to protect that. It really is. Cut out drama, cut out negativity. Have solution-based conversations, okay? And I'll tell my team this if you're on my downline, you know this. If you come to me more than once with a problem, you're not wanting help, okay? You know, look for solution-based conversations. Like if someone comes to you with something, instead of saying, oh, you know, he said, she said, and yada, 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 talking about this person, how do we fix it? What can we do to make it better? How can we turn it around? Let's talk about a solution. Let's not talk about a problem. Let's talk about a solution. So where are you spending your time and energy? Are you talking to people who are uplifting you? Are you talking to people who are encouraging you and making you dream bigger? You know, they say if you walk into a room and you're the smartest or the most motivated, most successful person there, you're in the wrong room. Okay, pick a couple leaders that you love on our team or that you look up to and surround yourself with them. Like I promise you, we don't mind if you pick our brains, right? We don't mind. That's what these Zooms are for, you know, to pick our brains, to hear what we're doing, to get tips from us, to get poured into from us. Find these leaders who have done what you want to do and don't copy them, like copy and post them, but like see what they're doing. See how you can duplicate that. See how you can replicate that, okay? So spend your time and spend your energy surrounding yourself with people who are daring you to dream bigger, who want more for your life, not the ones who are talking crap about each other or calling this a scam or this, that, and the other, okay? Let me see. I have my notes. I think that was about it, but then Shelby wanted to go on here. What was the one thing? I wrote this down earlier. Like Lisa was saying in the beginning, so I'm gonna have notes, you guys, because my brain is literally like 40 miles an hour all day. I wrote down a quote. It said, like Lisa had said in the beginning, you guys, consistency is everything. So this quote was amazing. It said, consistency influences trust and inconsistency inspires doubt. So are you being consistent with your business? Okay, the more you are consistent, the more people are going to trust you. Are you posting once on Facebook and sharing your results like once on Facebook, and then 3 weeks later wondering why no one's signing up with you, no one's getting minis from you, nobody's becoming a customer, nobody's asking questions, nobody's interacting with you? It's because you lack that consistency. So when I show up every single day on my stories and I'm taking my capsules, people trust me. They know that I'm taking these products myself daily. They know that I stand behind this business because I talk about it all the time. I'm consistent. I'm not just posting when I got a good paycheck and then being quiet on non-auto ship weeks, or like I'm not just posting when I signed up a customer and then, you know, oh, haven't signed a customer in a week, so I'm not going to talk about my products. I'm still taking them. I'm still going to talk about them, right? Be consistent every single day. I share my products or my business every single day, whether it be on my stories or on my page. I'm consistent with it, and that's why people trust me. You know, you wouldn't trust somebody who's on for a week and then off for 2 weeks, then on for a week and then off for another 2 weeks, because there's no consistency there, right? So be consistent. And then it says inconsistency inspires doubt. So if you show up taking your products and then you disappear for 2 weeks, and then you show up again taking your products and then you disappear for another 2 weeks, people are going to doubt that these products are even doing anything for you. Oh, someone's screen sharing. I don't know how to turn that off. What happened?
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
It's good. You're good.
Oh, okay, sorry. So that was
You're all
basically
good. We can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So that was basically it, you guys. Like, inconsistency inspires doubt. So if you're not consistent talking about the business, people are going to doubt the opportunity that you have. If you're not consistent talking about the products, people are going to doubt the products, right? Like, if you're not consistent, people are going to doubt it. So just be consistent, show up, protect your vibe, you guys. Cut out whoever makes you feel like shit. I don't care if it's your mom, your best friend, your baby daddy, your neighbor. I don't care. And I'm not saying cut them out forever as in like don't talk to them. But I'm saying if you would not trade lives with them, be very careful the influence they have over your life, okay? I'm not going to take business building advice from my neighbor who's never built a business. I'm not going to take marriage advice from my great Aunt Susie who's been divorced 4 times. I'm not going to take weight loss advice from somebody who hits the McDonald's drive-thru every day. So stop letting these people who don't have the vision that you have and don't have the dream that you have rob you of that. And if you're going to let them rob you of that, make sure that they're paying your bills 10 years from now, okay? So protect yourself, stop using that Larry loser language, and just be consistent with your business. And I hope that helps somebody. I know it's kind of all over the place, but it's been on my heart. Just a few things that I've had to kind of like overcome the last week or so, since I talked to Lisa about this soon. So I'm going to hand it back over to you, Lisa. Hopefully that helps somebody. And then you can take it away with Shelby.
Yeah, I want to say, guys, if you did not hear last Wednesday night at 8:00, I did a Zoom and Katie shared a story on it. If you guys were not on, you've got to get the recording because it's amazing. Like, I always find it so interesting to hear people's full background, where they started, who they are, the things they've gone through, because you realize it's so crazy. Like, I've met 200K that at one point lived in the park. I've met 200Ks that have, were teenage moms and they have no fathers, and they've had drug addictions, and there is just, I am cold, Michelle. I know it's freezing in my house. It's like 110 today, so my air conditioner's on and like freezing my house. But what you realize through all of it, and it was for me, I know when I first got started in network marketing, the smartest thing I did, and back then they didn't have Zoom. They did not have this. Like, your only way to hear people was like on recorded calls and getting in a live room with people. And I remember my first month in the business, getting in a room with 15 other people, and 4 of those 15 people were successful in the company. And I remember listening to them and hearing their story, and that is what changed the game for me. It changed everything, because I was like, these people are normal. They are not special. They were not born with a golden spoon in their mouth. They have troubles, drama, backgrounds, stuff just like me, yet they've all gotten to this place financially. And I know it's hard to put yourselves there, because I remember totally being there. I just wanted to make an extra $500 a month. I never in a million years thought that I would make $1 million. Like, I still literally wake up some days just laughing, like, how the hell did this happen to me? Because I am not anybody special. The only difference between me, Katie, and anyone on here who's reached those goals that they've been trying to reach, and I'm still not done. I'm always reaching, but have hit that spot. The only difference between you and me and anyone else is the amount of time and consistency we put in, and the fact that we made a decision to not give up and to keep going. And Katie, if you want to listen to somebody that knows what they're doing, Katie has been in this business now for a couple years. She has been in the top of my PPA every month since she started. She is a rock star. Like, she does not just tell everybody, oh, this is what you should go do. She actually does it too. And so if you guys were not listening, I hope that you guys play the replay again, take some notes for the people in the back, because everything Katie said was gold. There is no secret or magic to success. The secret and magic to success is getting your head out of your behind and saying, I'm done with the excuses. My favorite thing that Katie talked about was the excuses end of things. Like, we can all say, oh, I just can't do this today because of my kids, or, well, I couldn't get there because I didn't feel good. I mean, I can always think of a good excuse if I don't want to do something. But I love how you have to say, it's just not a priority to me. If you change it to that, oh my gosh, it's like, it's truth though. Like, how many of the excuses that you guys make to not work your business, be honest with yourself, how many of them are true obstacles that you just cannot get out of, avoid, or get around? Because I bet you any money that same obstacle that you said held you back today from working your business, or yesterday or last week, I bet you that same obstacle, if somebody died, you would have found a babysitter. If somebody was getting married and you needed to be at their bachelorette party, you would have found a babysitter. If that's your issue. If it's the fact that, saving your child's life and you had to go live on Facebook, I bet you would do it. Like, it's all about what we really want to make happen and what we want to do. So I hope you guys change your verbiage, man. That's so powerful to hear that come out of your mouth. How icky does it sound if you say just changing lives isn't a priority? Me sharing Thrive with other people to help them feel better, it's just not a priority for me. It's not a priority for me to change my family's life. It's not a priority for me to give them a great Christmas. Not a priority for me to show up today. I mean, if you say that, it's like a slap in the face. It's like, Katie's right, it's icky. It's like, ugh. Like, I don't want to be that person. I want to be better than that person. And I always say this, you guys, like, when I look at the number of people that are on this Zoom tonight, 150 people, there are thousands on this team, thousands and thousands and thousands underneath just chastity under. And 150 people showed up tonight. And normal Zooms that we have, it's around this amount that shows up. And so I have to believe that those of you that are on these every single time, that you are the 1% that you want it more than anyone else, that you want it just a little bit more than that person that chose not to get on this tonight. You want it just a little bit more than that person that's making excuses. And so we can fall into those traps. I can fall into those traps. I've been doing this and I'm successful at it, and I can still make excuses when I don't feel like doing it, right? I have to snap out of it and go, nope, can't do that, right? It would be so easy for me to go, well, my paycheck's coming next week anyways, right? I mean, it would be so easy to do that. But at the end of the day, you have to shift your priorities and make it a priority if you want to get to where you want to get to. And like I said, if you're on here tonight, I have to believe you are in that 1% that you're different, that you're going to get to where you want to go, because you pour into this, you pour into yourself, and you might not be doing all of the right things right yet. You might not be doing the live videos because you're scared, or you might not be jumping in and, making all the right posts, and maybe you're not saying all the right things in messages yet, but you will. And you have the will to do that. We all started there. We all started a nervous wreck, scared, not knowing if what we were doing was right or wrong. But we kept going until we got it right. We failed forward. And you're failing forward right now, right? Every one of us, I'm failing forward right now. Like, Amanda's like, you've got to get on TikTok. And I'm like, okay, so I did the first step. I downloaded it. Now it's been downloaded and I created a profile for like 5 days now, and I still haven't done anything. Like, it's like scary. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, Amanda, I have to fly you here so you can show me how to do this. Like, I am so nervous for new things, and it takes me a minute to jump in, but I will. Like, I know me, and I will do it. I will get pushed to that point. I might need someone to hold my hand in some things, but I will do it. And I know that if you show up on these Zooms and you're on here tonight, then that's you. You may need a little bit of pushing, nudging. You may need that belief instilled in you, because I know how much we believe in you. We're going to believe in you until you believe in yourselves, but you're already taking that first step just by showing up. I want to bring in Shelby Doris. Shelby, can you unmute yourself, honey?
Hi.
Hi, Shelby. Thanks for coming on tonight. First of all, you're rocking it out, so congratulations. I wanted
Thank
to
you.
just have you hop on. because you are killing it right now. And I wanted you to kind of share with everybody, how long have you been in? How did you find Thrive? What were you doing before Thrive? Just a little bit about your story. Like, why did you just become a promoter? And like, how long did you do this before you became one?
Okay, so I actually got into this industry with another company. I was really excited about it, brand new. A lot of people had sent me messages, the industry had kind of a worse name, I guess, when I first started back in 2017. I was with them for about a year and I never really found any type of success. It was just going in circles and circles and circles and everything falling apart no matter what you did or what you tried to do. I had actually a past upline and we'd gone to a trip in Dallas. And the whole time I was taking note of the fact that she had her nose in her phone the whole time. And I'll never forget this. We were in a restaurant and I felt like she wasn't really experiencing things with me. And she looked at me and she said, if you want to be successful, this is what you have to do. And my instantaneous thought was, then that's not the kind of success that I want. I don't want to be missing out on life. And we were in the top of a restaurant that spun around to look at the city. And I'm like, I wouldn't want to miss that. So at that point, it kind of was the last straw, I guess. I knew I had the vision. I knew I wanted to be in this industry, but I needed to find a company that matched me, and that I could really stand behind and believe in. So I was researching companies and just looking for probably a couple months when Katie found me on Instagram. And at that time, I never really looked at people's pages too much, but something told me, go look at her page, go look through her posts. And she had made a post about growing through what you go through. And she was talking about her past experiences with that company and how much her life had changed since then. And so I messaged her and asked her for more information. We kind of clicked off the bat and she told me about what she was doing and what the company was. And I ended up getting a 6-day mini from her and Patrick and I shared it. So I noticed my difference on the third day. I was not a morning person. I would roll over and go back to sleep as many times as I could in a day. I was sick all the time. I had migraines all the time. We kind of just didn't really go anywhere because of it. And on that third day, I woke up on a Sunday and I felt amazing. I was doing things. I was cleaning the house. I was listening to music and I was hooked that day. And 3 days later, I bought my promoter pack and that was in August of 2018.
Oh, I was making sure I was unmuted. Okay. So since August of 2018, tell me a little bit about like your journey as far as, did you take off really fast? Are things just happening for you now? Like what's happened over this last
almost 2 years.
How many months is it? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 2 years. Tell me about it.
Okay, so when I started out, obviously, when you start out, you're like you're fresh, you're new, you're excited, you're going for it. And I remember that was August 8th of 2018. I hit the promoter button. I called everybody, my mom, my dad, my best friends. I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I just tried this. This is what it did for me. Like, you need to try it. And I ended up, I think, selling my entire starter kit, if I remember right. And then in October, it was actually Halloween, I ended up going 4K for the first time. I bawled like a baby. And then after that is kind of where I honestly dipped off a little bit. My story is a little bit different in the fact that I gave up. I stopped working in, I think March of last year was my highest month to that date. I had gotten halfway to 12K and then something, I couldn't even tell you what happened, honestly. I lost any confidence that I had. I kind of went into a dark place and I stopped showing up. I stopped getting on Zooms. I stopped talking to Katie. I just kind of flew under the radar. I lost rank. If I even had a commission that week, it was maybe $10. And I was feeling pretty down in the dumps about myself. And something that Katie said when she was talking is very true. Inconsistency breeds insecurity. And that's what had happened for me. I wasn't sharing. I wasn't talking to people. So I had nobody to talk to. And that kind of kept pushing me out. It was embarrassment of it because I knew I wasn't doing the things that I should be doing. And Patrick and I went on a Labor Day trip. I think we went on a camping trip that September. And we just kind of talked about it. And that was when they rolled out the $25 credit for all new customer accounts. And I was sitting in that tent and he was like, look, there's nothing you can do. You can't go back. You can't change it. You can't sit here and cry about it. It's not going to change anything. So either you stop it altogether or you change it and move forward. So I decided that I was going to get my promotion back that month. I decided I was going to come back. I was done feeling embarrassed and insecure. So I messaged Katie. I told her how I had been feeling and she was like, girl, I already knew that. And so that was the month with the $25 credit. I ended up going from a 0 PPA from March to September. I ended up having the top PPA on the team. I re-ranked 4K. I hit 12K for the first time, and I hit my auto bonus all in September of last year. And I remember I hit 12K. It was the last day of the month, and I was in the truck with Patrick, and I just started crying. Like, it was, I'll never forget the feeling because I didn't think, all I did was I prayed every single day. I woke up, I did what I knew I needed to do. And every time I was in the car, every time I was sitting on the couch, whatever I was doing, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get this 12K. Because by the end of the month, I had 9,000 in volume. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get this, but I know it's going to happen. However it happens, it's going to happen. That's all I kept saying to myself. And then, so after September, we kind of kept building and building. And then I went 40K in March 29th. So like a month and a half almost ago, went 40K for the first time. And now we're pushing for 80K.
I have to tell you, Shelby, I can't wipe the smile off my face because your story is so common, except for the part where you made a comeback. How many people flat a rank, lose their mojo, think it's over, and they just quit? You made a decision to get back to work, and because of that, not only did you get 4K back, not only did you go 12K, you just went 40K and you're on your way to 80K. Like, this is what happens, you guys, when you make a decision. The only difference between you that month that you decided I'm going to do this and the month before that was you made a decision. I'm going to do this. And you're so right. It spirals. What you let it get in your head, and then the negativity, and then it just kept spiraling out of control. And then one day, and then 1 week turned into 3, and then you're embarrassed, and then then you're thinking, how can I build it all over? It all fell apart. How am I going to start from square one? Like, you just let negativity come in. And the only between October or August?
For which?
When you were like at 0 PPA again and you were like, I'm doing this. September?
I started out the beginning of September with 0.
September.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean,
that
the only
was
difference
March.
between September, you sat pretty much stagnant, was you made a decision to get to work, to get out of your own head. And like you said, you stopped plugging in. You stopped being consistent. All of those things happened. It is like this spiral. And some people can't get out of that spiral, not because it's impossible or because there's some rule book somewhere that says if you spiral that you can't get out of it.
It's because they choose not to get out of it. You made a choice to get out of it, and your story is so inspiring. Like, I hope every person on here who has spiraled, who may be in a spiral right now, who may be just coming back for the first time, you were 40K, maybe you were 12K, maybe you were 4K at one point, and you lost it. Shelby is just worried because I put a bunch of other people on here who are Shelbys. And at the same time, I get 50 times that are the opposite of Shelbys, the ones that lose it and never back. It's a decision that you have to make. Like, what? So since you're like going nuts now, first this went 40, what do you feel like tip-wise you could give anybody that is shooting for a goal right now? What are some things that you've been doing that you feel like making a difference in your business?
So I think one of the biggest things, and the first thing that popped into my head when you asked me that, is having a routine. My mind personally, and I know that there are lots of people out there like me, my mind works better off of routine and when I know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. So for me, for example, when I wake up in the morning, I do my gratitude journal. I read a chapter out of whatever book I'm reading at that moment. And then I sit down and do the things for my business after I've worked on myself. So whether that's I help Katie out and host a Work With Me Zoom, or I hop on the other girls' Work With Me Zooms, do birthdays, just talk to people, interact on your pages, respond to messages, all those types of things. I personally post more than once a day on Facebook. I like to do something inspirational in the morning because that's a good way for not only you, but your friends and followers to start their day. The afternoon time is when I usually post about the business or my products. And then in the evening time, I kind of just post something about life. Like we're getting our puppy tomorrow. So I posted that when we got back in town today. Tomorrow's puppy day, and I can't contain my excitement. It's kind of, I think we get into such a wheel of making sure that we're doing all the right things for our business. And I catch myself doing this, that we forget to share us. We get into such a habit of, I have X, Y, and Z done, but then you don't share any of who you are or anything about your life or what's going on in your life. After we made this big move, I was sharing everything about the move. I've been doing house tours and posting pictures and things like that. And I've actually connected with a lot of new people that way, just sharing what's going on in my behind the scenes. So it's important to kind of figure out whatever routine works best for your schedule. And don't forget to share who you are. Don't be a robot and only share the business and only share your products. Those are just a piece of you.
No, that's like the best advice ever. And I think that we either, it's like one scale or the next. Either people aren't posting about the business at all, or that's all they do because they don't know what else to post about. And the true way to connect with us is like the other things that make us an individual, the other interests we have and stuff like that. I am so inspired by your story today. Like, seriously, before I interviewed you, I did not know all this. So I am like, oh my gosh, I swear that God listens, because I put the right person on this Zoom tonight that people need to hear. How many of you guys in the chat needed to hear Shelby? I know I did. Just so inspiring to know that it's a decision and that anybody do it, and that it doesn't matter how far you've fallen back or if you messed up or if you gave at one point. That's the beauty of owning your own business, is at any time, guys, you can decide, I'm ready to do this. I don't know how many stories that I've heard where people, I mean, I've heard so many, like people, they didn't get their VIP bonuses. They kind of just hopped on some Zooms, and then 2 years later, they're like, I want to do this. And then they go 200K. It's like,
yeah.
And the only difference is mindset. Like, it is seriously, like, if you ask yourself what was different when I wasn't doing it versus when I'm doing it, you just said, I'm doing it. You start put one foot in front of the other, which is the hardest thing to do, right? Especially like in anything. It's like if you go on a diet and you lose, and then and you're 20 pounds heavier again. And you're like, oh my God, I just gained all that weight back. I've got to start the way over. And it's daunting. And it's so much easier to eat the piece of chocolate cake in front of you because you're like, it's so long to get back to where I was. So I'm just going to eat a piece of chocolate cake. It's the same thing every single aspect of this business, because it's so easy to go, I worked so hard, got to this level, and it is all gone. How am I ever going to do it again? And then go further? Like, you must have thought that. You must have.
Oh yeah. I think that month, that September, when I started at the Zero PPA, I want to say that my goal for the month, because it's the baby steps, and I think my goal for the month was like 3 to 5. And because I hadn't been doing anything in 6 months, so I had to start back from square one. I think I ended the month at like 15 or 16, I think, if I remember right. And honestly, the thing too is, like, with excuses, like, you can sit on the couch and keep watching your TV show and say, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll do it in the morning. Just give me an hour. And then before you know it, the day's gone. But it's so much easier, in my opinion, to just do it and go to bed feeling good about yourself, rather than pushing it off because you think it'll be easier later. Then you lose the day, then it doesn't get done, and then you go to bed feeling, wow, I didn't do anything. I did nothing that I was supposed to do. And then you wake up in a negative place the next morning because you still have that weighing on you.
Yeah, and I think you pointed out something huge. Set realistic small goals for yourself that you think you can achieve, because that would be like you jumping and saying, I'm going 4K. Like, what is the reason? Because if you're setting it so high that you can't, you're going to feel defeated again. If you're starting over, or if you're deciding today is the day you're going to start getting consistent, set a goal between now and this month and make it a reasonable goal. For some of you, depending on the time that you went in and the dedication willing to dedicate to this, maybe driving for free. Maybe that is your goal, and that is the first step to show yourself that you can go. Maybe for some of you, it's I'm gonna sign my first customer. Whatever it takes, I'm signing my customer. I'm gonna get 1,000 in volume. I'm getting to 1,000 in volume. Whatever, guys, though, don't. It's not Shelby's goal. It's not my goal. It's not Katie's. It's your goal, and that prove to yourself that you can accomplish something you set out to do. And once you hit, I mean, I look back at the last 10 years, and that's how it's always been for me, is I'll set a goal, and I always make it something that's achievable, but a tiny bit out of reach, just so it challenges me and pushes me a little bit. And if I miss it, I know it's not going to be much, and I'm not going to be completely destroyed, right? Like, you don't want to do that to yourself, because you're going to be like, oh my God. But
I know.
It's always been every month I would go, okay, I'm going to, and then sometimes I would end out further ahead, and I'd be like, oh my God, okay, so, and then I would give myself grace and celebrate the win. Like, that's what you guys have to do. But stop being so hard on yourself, and stop wallowing in the fact that you were once a 4K, but you're not anymore. Or, God, I started out so good. I got my VIP bonuses and then it happened. Or we can go on and on and on, when the reality is what really probably happened is you stopped being consistent. You stopped working. You stopped showing up. And I did want to ask you about that, because I know in the beginning, I've seen a lot of times where people go 4K really fast and it does fall apart. And it falls not because they're not working, but because the people they signed were family members that were never going to work it, kind of just like doing favors for them. Like, they signed their dog, their cat, their mom, and their sister, all who were never going to like repeat the process, right? They weren't going to actually go out and recruit. And so they got the bonuses, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And they might even push to 4K. But then 2 months later, they're back down to nothing, because none of those people were real people that were actually going to continuously order or work the business. But then sometimes you are doing the right things and you just stop getting consistent with it. What do you think it was for you? Of both, or a little bit of both, or was it more that you just stopped plugging in?
I think it was more of an internal thing. I actually, the only people that were close to me as far as like family or mom or dad, things like that, that helped me with my business were people that bought minis from me to help me get started. But I mean, for example, my mom, she's a customer now. She loves our skincare. She orders it every month. And she's so sensitive that she can only do our DFTs. But it didn't start out that way. She got a mini from me because she wanted to support me. And then as I was still doing it and being consistent and all of these things, she was like, okay, well, I mean, I kind of want to try it now. Or I would send her product and I'm like, hey, you're going to love this. Use it. And then she uses it and she falls in love. She can't use any other moisturizer aside from ours now because they're all too oily for her skin. And in the beginning, she didn't want anything to do with it. So I think that in the very beginning, when things started to crumble for me, I think that it really was an internal thing. I don't think that I was ready for it. I think I had a lot of thinking and kind of working on my own mindset to do before I was ready to reach that next step. And I think that that's why it took me so long. I wasn't working or wasn't being consistent, or would maybe post something here and there for about 6 months before September came. And I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm done feeling like shit. I'm done feeling unproductive about myself. Like, I'm done. And that's kind of where everything changed. I just don't think I was ready for it.
And really, guys, whatever we all have something. Every single one of you on here, there's either 3 things happening right now. Okay, I'm a psychic. Okay, so I bet everyone on here, you're gonna fall into one of these 3 categories. You are either growing, you are either stagnant, you're falling behind. There's only 3. When you're stagnant, I want to go through this with you guys so you guys can gauge and understand why you are where you are. If you are growing, it means you're doing the do, okay? Because there's really no way to grow in this business if you are not physically plugging in, staying connected, you're supposed to do every day. You and George are both working it. If you're stagnant, that I find, so if those of you guys on here, give me your emoji if you feel you're stagnant. If you are stagnant, I will 99% bet you it is because you've fallen into management mode. Most people go stagnant when they stop doing the do. They think they're doing the do. I'm not saying you're not doing any. You're showing up Zooms and 3-way calls for your team, and you're calling up saying, what are you doing today for your business, right? You're there for everybody, but you yourself are not physically growing your own personal business. You're staying stagnant. And your team, whether you believe that or not, guys, your team knows if you're working it or not. They got 2 eyes. When you post those PPAs and you're never, they can call you out. And then you're falling behind. Is that last place that you're in, falling behind? You're in your own way. You're not recruiting. It's kind of all of the above. You're not plugging in enough, not posting enough. You're not staying consistent enough. You haven't found the right people yet. And you can never rep recruiting. I always say this. And Shelby, I bet you can tell everybody this. Those people that got you to 4K the first time, they're not here anymore. But you found new people.
Nope.
And you probably even have people that helped you get to K and 12K, that are 40, that were actually integral parts of getting you to 12 and 40. You guys have to always keep growing and grow your business as if you're the only one building it. Like when I wake up every day, I don't think, oh my gosh, I have people in my downline. Amanda's working, Katie's working. I'm gonna get my check next week. Amanda, what if Amanda decides not to work anymore? I don't know. I can't control Amanda. I mean, she's a bad example because Amanda's network. But what if, though, I cannot count on other people? The only person I can count on is myself. And I can tell you guys, my biggest thing that got me to 200K, I'm talking, it was like 70% of my freaking business is wiped off the map now. No one in that works. It's completely gone. And if I stopped at 200K and said, oh, these people are just going to continue to grow me, and if I wouldn't have continued to do what I was supposed to do, bringing in new people, I never would have found Jamie Pekka. I didn't find Jamie Pekka till I was 200K. Right? I found Jamie. I would have just sat back. I wouldn't have done anything. And I would have lost it all because my big leg is gone.
Mm-hmm.
I need
Well,
my
and if
big
you're
leg.
not, yeah, and if you're not working, then I mean, nothing's going to grow. Like you were saying, these people that are there in the very beginning, I mean, sometimes you just find those people that are going to catch the vision with you, and they're going to run and run and run. And I think one of the most important things with recruiting is to remember is, I always love this when I hear people say it, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. If somebody decides to not show up and work their business, that has nothing to do with you. As long as you are showing up and setting a good example, that's what matters. If you're doing what you are preaching to these people to do, that's what matters. But you can't tell people you're going to do X, Y, and Z at 9, 10, and 11 o'clock, and then you not do it yourself.
Yeah. Eventually, you're going to attract your tribe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you're sitting around doing absolutely nothing, that's the tribe you're going to attract. If you're negative and drama, that's the tribe you're going to attract. If you are out there and you're positive and you're doing the work every day, you're going to suddenly grab someone that wants to do it with you. It's like it's the law. Like, that's how it works, yeah. You guys. It's so true. I am just so excited that you got on tonight and shared, Shelby, because like there's a lot of people that needed to hear that and your comeback, because comebacks are, any of you can have a comeback. Any of you not who are, you once were, or you've lost a rank, I promise you, your comeback is right around the corner. It's the only thing stopping you between you and your comeback is the decision that you need to make right now, saying, I'm doing it. I'm going to start small and I'm going to work my way up again, and I will get there because I'm not giving up and I'm going to get consistent. And I hope you took Shelby's tips tonight and you heard her story, and I hope you listened to Katie, and Katie just had so many golden nuggets, it's not even funny. But I hope you guys realize that we are coming into that is going to be huge for growth. You know, we saw so many promotions on our team last month, and that's going to double this month. And we're going to have a crazy next 3 to 4 months. Those of you that are plugged in, I want you to think about this. Say you're not where you want to be. Let's do falling backwards. If you start now, today, set that goal and get it, and you keep it every month, I promise you, by the next 4 months, you are going to double, triple, or quadruple your income and your rank. Those of you that don't do it, that keep making excuses, that fall back into it, that get off this and you're pumped for one day, and then the next day you're like, I'm not motivated anymore. It's just a decision you have to make. But I can tell you what, I'm more excited for those of you that you have your heads down, that you're ready for this. I don't care about your past. I don't care what rank you are. If you're on here, to me, you're all 200Ks. Like, if you are showing up right now, every one of us are at 200K. It's just a matter of time. It's an absolute matter of time. We'll all get there. If that is you will be there. I have no doubt, as long as you don't give up. What I care about is shows up. What I care about is people's consistency, their effort, about their passion. I care about that. You know, that's what I care about. So I need you guys to wake up every day, and I need you to say to yourselves, I'm not giving up. And if I have a bad day, taking it the long term is daunting. 0 PPA. And let's say you have $100 in volume. To think about being a 200K, it's daunting to think about 4K, right? That's a lot of space. And thinks that I think Aria Dillard brings in a volume every month, and I'm like, there's no way. I'll never get there. And then I have to stop myself and go, why I'll never get there? I got to here. Like, that's stupid. You have to stop yourself. And I want you guys to say to yourself, this month, make that goal, in every month, not anyone else's goal, not the competing, your goal, set it, hit it or get close, make yourself proud, and it does not matter how long it takes. This is not a race, you guys. Losers are people that give up. It's not a race. This is your time, your race, that you decide. It's your business. The only way to lose or fail is to give up. So I hope you guys heard these amazing ladies tonight with their awesome tips. I know I needed to hear it, and I have a bunch of people on here that needed to hear these tips tonight, and just Shelby's story in general. And you guys, like I said, if you did not hear Katie's entire story, get the recording from last Wednesday's Zoom, because it was just so good, like amazing, just to know where Katie was to where she is now. And it just makes you know that you can do this. If Katie did it, if I did it, if Shelby's doing it, you can do
That one.
it.
Go find it.
You can
And
too.
then that way you can
It's
match.
so exciting. I'm so excited. Okay, we went a little bit late. Sorry about that. But it was just too good to stop. Shelby, thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Shelby. And Katie, thank you so much. Like, I can never thank you enough. You're just incredible. And if you guys are not following Katie's social media, you should be, because it's just her consistency that it's just so good. And you guys, Katie's PPA every month, she's in the top 5 to 10 since she started. And what's crazy, if you go to her Facebook page, she has 1,000 likes on her posts. Like, I bet you half the people Katie signs never even liked a post. I mean, we're waiting for somebody to like a post. Stop it. The magic is in Messenger. Katie is interacting. People are seeing her stuff, and she's being consistent. And because of that, oh my gosh, that she's in the top of the PPA because of that consistency, because of her genuineness and the relationship. Just forget that, guys. It's so key. And like Shelby said, be you. Don't try to be anybody else. Be yourself, and I promise you that's going to get you so much better than stealing these posts every single day and posting it on your timeline. Be you. I don't care how silly or stupid you think you are. Somebody else out there is silly and stupid. Well, in my head too. I'm gonna want to run around my yard naked. I don't know what to do, but whatever it is, be you, and you're gonna attract your tribe. And those people are going to know, like, and trust you and join you, and that's how you're gonna grow. All right, guys, it's Thursday. Have a great weekend. Everybody get ready, because I have no doubt that we're going to be unleashing some kind of weekend promo. I do not have an inside like edition or anything, but I tend to notice the weekends they've been dropping like the bombs for customers, so we'll see. So I'm just saying, y'all get ready, because this month is going to fly, and we got goals. We got goals to crush. I'm excited to see how many new promotions we have this month, how many new people I get to. Stay tuned next Monday. Oh, calls all week. Sunday night, Stacy. Monday night, Amanda. 3 days, I have the leadership Zoom where I interviewed Kay. Real quick. Wednesday nights, we're trying to do a story Zoom, and then our upline city has a Zoom. And then Thursday nights, every Thursday, this link at this time, your alarm, phone, save. We will always be with some tips, stories, goodness that you can take away, and hopefully get some motivation for the weekend to go run your business. So I love you guys. Thanks for joining, Danny. Again, Shelby and Katie, thank you so much for hopping on. Bye, guys.